Hello, it's Eric here with Master Tool Repair. Today we're doing a short video on how to install an airline throttle control valve. Instead of a bullwhip style or cable style, this actuates by air pressure, so it's a pneumatic throttle idle control valve. And what you'll need is 1/4 inch flexible plastic or nylon tubing with a 1/4 inch compression nut, sold separately of course. We do have this, just order the length that you need in feet to attach to the pilot valve. So what you'll get is the bracket, and you'll get the throttle idle control valve itself, and of course the screw to mount this onto the throttle bracket on the engine. Here we have a 5.5 horsepower GX series Honda engine. What we're going to do first is simply take off the air filter cover and housing. Of course, here we have the workings of the throttle control on the engine. We have the throttle arm here, and we of course have screw here. You'll have this on the engine stock, so go ahead and remove this screw on the base of the throttle. This will be right next to the throttle screw with the spring here. So you'll go ahead and remove that, and remove any other stock springs or return springs on the Honda engine. Like on the arm, you might find a return spring underneath. You want to go ahead and definitely remove all the return springs. You want the least amount of resistance for this valve as possible. Alright. So what we're going to do is take this Z-shaped cable with the cap, and we're going to insert it into the large hole in the very back of the throttle control arm. So simply slides in, and that cap fits real nicely in a place that seats down onto the throttle control arm itself. And you can take a wrench and loosen this nut up. This nut here on the actual valve is just a bracket to secure the bracket so you can maneuver it into place. You want to angle the valve however you need to, of course whatever's convenient, and so you'll loosen the nut to loosen the bracket. Now, once you have it lined up where you want the valve to be and the bracket to be, simply take your little hex bolt here. This is a little hex style, and you're going to thread it into the plate. Sometimes simple act of just threading it bolt into a thread can be the most tedious part of it. But what we're going to do here, we have it angled like we want. We're going to screw that bracket down onto the throttle plate nice and tight so that it does not move. And of course, once we do that, you can take a wrench and simply tighten up the bracket nut so that it doesn't move around. Alright, and we're going to take our 1/4 inch nylon tubing with our 1/4 inch compression nut. Simply thread it onto the end of the valve, and this will eventually, of course, route to the pilot unloader valve, and it's actuated by air pressure, so it's going to route to the idle control valve. Now, the pilot valve, we have a unit already set up and it's already installed on this particular unit. It route from the engine, of course, and the nylon tubing will install into a T-fitting or an adapter directly into the pilot valve. Here we have an 1/8 inch port on the pilot valve. We have a T installed, and of course you see the 1/4 inch line simply threads into that T. And the pilot valve actuates the throttle control by air pressure and kicks it down to idle and kicks it up to high speed. And that's simply how you install the airline style throttle control. If you have any more questions, you can go online to www.mastertoolrepair.com or call a sales rep for more assistance. Thank you very much once again for watching.